You had a black journalist has filed a racial discrimination case against the Young Turks. Now, many people are like, what? The Young Turks? I thought they speak about black people all day long and talk about minorities and people of color and all the things that they're talking about, but they didn't have any black host or any major black people around to talk about the black experience. But that's beside the point, right? So the guy's name is Andrew Jerell Jones. Now, he was a black journalist who worked with them, and he also was working for the Guardian and the Intercept. That he stated that he was complaining about racial bias within the Young Turks company. And he said that once he started complaining about it, it was a fireable offense, and that Cenk Uygur told him to shut the F up and deal. Uygur stated, the quotes attributed to me in the workplace are completely false. That's what he stated. He said that the dude lied. So they said the complaint filed with the New York State Division of Human Rights alleges that Jones, unlike his white colleagues, dealt with shifting expectations, unclear deadlines, and a lack of a travel budget for investigative stories. Jones said that he complained to executives that his boss, Jonathan Larson, treated other reporters in the TYT Investigates group less harshly, and that he faced improper charges of insubordination and poor performance. Jones said that he was contacted by David Collar, one of the founders of TYT, who told him he would begin an investigation to his complaint of racial discrimination, but nobody ever followed up with him. The complaint alleges that another executive called Jones shortly thereafter and made a veiled threat saying, if this all works out, you are under Larson, but he may also discontinue your services. You talking about his work performance? He's not even talking about work performance with you right now. He's talking about racial discrimination. Who cares about the work performance at this point? It doesn't even matter. He's not suing you for work performance issues. He's suing you because of racial discrimination. Jones stated he was put on a 2-week probation to evaluate his performance, and his request to change to another unit of the newsroom was denied. He was originally hired to handle subjects like breaking news and sports, but was moved to investigative division. According to the complaint, Jones submitted 5 story ideas to Larson during the probation period, but all were rejected. Days later, Jones said he was pushed to resign from the company and sign a severance deal that will restrict his ability to take legal action for racial discrimination. He refused and was fired days later. That's some pretty hefty claims against them. But let me tell you something here, about them. A lot of people in the past have told me about them, but see, I peeped them a long time ago, brothers and sisters. I peeped them, and I peeped them on the guise of they using the stories about black people. They using the police shootings. They using all those things that they so-called get outraged about to get views, because let's call it what it is. Talking about black people for them would get them more views than talking about their own people. And I saw them, they pimp the system with that. And they because, for me, when I start seeing it, what they do is fake. They were like getting too outrageous with it, yelling and cussing and, they're so outraged. But yeah, they don't turn it into anything. They're so outraged, but they don't have no black reporters around them. They don't. Every time Chris Brown did something, Anna would be just reaming on Chris Brown. You could see that hatred she has. Or Bill Cosby, or anything with a black man, you'll see certain comments they would make. And I would just sit back and just peep it, and I said, oh, okay. And see, I made a video last year to our Patreon people, and I may release that one to be public since it's been a while. I go through details of why I couldn't fool with them. And then this come out. It just confirmed everything else I already said, even though some people didn't agree with what I said about them at the time period. And most of you who are black know that something wasn't right with them in relation to us as black people. This is why we need to support our outlets, okay? They playing with you. Once again, the liberals are playing with you. See, we need to back off from all them liberals, because they not for us. And no, I'm not telling you to go fool no white conservative either. It's two wings of the same white supremacist bird. We need to remove ourselves from these liberals and be independent. or create our own party. You want to create your own party? Great. Let me know, get everybody involved, and then we'll go with that. But the next best thing would be independent. That's what I'll say. Don't join no green party. Don't join none of it. Independent. Because the fact is, they play with black people. They do. And I'm going to put up a story. This one sister, I mean, she went in on them liberals and how they treat black people. But he say he didn't do it. I don't know. My thing is, that's some pretty hefty claims. It really is. And I don't think no lawyer would just take his case without having some receipts to back some of that up, because the judge will just throw that out if they don't have the receipts to back it up. But support your black media outlets, support them, because this is where you're going to get news in your interest, black America. How is it you going to have a platform talking about black issues but you don't have black people there? It'd be like me turning my platform and speak about Asian issues, and I have no Asians with me here. No Asians to say, how is it really the Asian experience? Nothing. I'm just so outraged about what happens to Asians, but I don't do crap. And I got the means to actually help, but I don't do it. I'm just saying. But we'll see where this story goes. We'll keep an eye on it. And yes, BuzzFeed and many others talked about this. Now, BuzzFeed is the most liberal publication you can get. So they can't say, oh, it's Fox News. No, it's not Fox. It's BuzzFeed. And we'll put the link in the description box. Now, one thing before we wrap up, one of the founders, also David Collar, it was exposed in a blog post from 2004 where he was described seeing P.O. black people just hanging out in the heat. And on a road trip through Memphis, he stated, and I quote, "I mean, these Negroes were the real deal," Collar wrote. So one of the founders of the Young Turks, like I said, you know, none of this surprised me. It don't. Like I said, I peeped that. I just never said much about it because there's a lot of black folks that love, you know, them Caucasian liberals. They love them. They love them. They love them. You can't tell them nothing at all. They'll bypass many black people and many black outlets to go support them, because you know how it goes. The Caucasian man ice is colder, that sort of thing. But understand something. When we talk here, we speaking from the black experience because we are black people. We live it daily. I'm a black man. We have black women that come on. We know the true experience. It's not no fakery with us. We live it. See, they can scream and yell and act like they so liberal, but they go back to taking the benefits of white supremacy. We have no benefits of white supremacy here, or any other black content creator who have things to speaking to in your interest. Just make sure you think about that just a little bit, black people, because it's time out for some of the things that we're doing. We have to back off from these liberals, because if anything, they're being exposed now. They're being exposed, and that's good, because all before it was all those racist conservatives. Okay, well, now you're starting to find out on the other side. You're starting to find it out. But leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about this. Share the video, like the commentary, subscribe. Make sure you click the notification bell to find out you post new news stories or live streams.